just want to know, how is your character as a Arjun in Chitra coming along, and how is it working with Ranjita, a Bengali director,
Yeah.
and Dirgha, a Punjabi actress?
Yeah,
How's it
yeah.
coming along?
Wow, three huge questions. I think for me, just the character itself, a couple of things, the balance between the mythology and the history of the character and the research that I've been doing, but also working with the director and working with this team allows me to kind of like bring some of my own impressions or interpretations of it. I think the biggest challenge for me is, as a Native American, is how I interpret it or how I approach it or how I show respect for the culture. I know that's a huge thing with the Native American community that we do that. But Arjun is just, so for me, the idea of the exile was huge. Also, the idea that he was a warrior and a soldier. So I kind of went down a different path than I think what is usually expected, which is kind of like this more heroic stance. I did that, but I added to, there's a recent movie called American Sniper, directed by Clint Eastwood, that came out. And so that looks at somebody who has a whole bunch of kills and is celebrated as a hero, as a legend and everything else, but kind of carries the weight of having taken that many lives with him. So I kind of added that part to humanize Arjun and his longing for connection with other human beings. And in Chitra, he finds somebody that does the same thing, as a leader, is a strong leader, protects people. I think he'd rather consider himself a protector than a warrior and a soldier. So it's been really, really nice to work with Ranjita and work with Dirgha on that. And they've allowed me to kind of explore those things and supported me in doing that. And they're both incredible. I think that Ranjita is she is a buzzsaw of excitement, and she's like a firecracker. She acts out every single role, every single position, and she does it at like 2,000%. And so just trying to keep up with her is horrible. It's just like, I'm out of breath when I watch her, but I'm so inspired that she is that way. And she's very much into the movement of the characters and how they stand, how they move, how they cross the space and everything else and stuff. And it's very inspiring. A very different approach. I tend to be a little bit more internal, and it's a really nice balance between working with her and marrying our approaches together, and amazing conversations. And then Dirgha, she is phenomenal. Like, I think we both early on were very relieved that we had somebody else that was willing to go into the places that we wanted to explore. Because, you know, I mean, you could look at the stereotype or the archetype of just two lovers. You know, two lovers that are legends and mythological characters and stuff, and we're just going to act out Romeo and Juliet or something along those lines. But to humanize both of them, to want to go and understand what their relationships are and how they're horrible at being good in a relationship. They're good soldiers, they're good warriors, they're good fighters, which makes them horrible, horrible lovers. Other than the fact that they are head over heels in love with each other. And they're going to stick it out. They're going to try to like make it work, even though they know that there's a lot of challenges for them. And I think that it's been incredible working with Dirgha, because each time we approach it, each time we read it, each time we go through the lines, there's something else that occurs to us. And I think that's probably going to be the way it is all the way through the run and everything else and stuff, which is incredible, because I know for the way that I approach things is I like to make it new every night. You know, I mean, I think that the audience appreciates it, but I also think that as an actor, it's kind of, I think more of acting like a sport, like playing American football or basketball. You never know what's going to happen night to night. And so to have somebody that's willing to do that, as opposed to somebody that's just kind of like doing an archive or a recital. So I'm really lucky in working with both of them.
Thank you so much for your time, Martin. It was
Thank
great.
you.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Yeah, that was great.